Hola. An extreme test of endurance sport is the triathlon, wherein you have to cycle, run, and swim long distances in extreme conditions. It tests not only your physical strength but also your mental strength. Our guest today, that is Nicholas Castellano, who is joining us from New York, USA, has tested his mental and physical strength multiple times by participating in numerous triathlon competitions. His journey with the cycle began at the age of 5, when he used his bike to get to school, to play, to work, to shop. And at the age of 10, he was restoring bikes along with a couple of friends. And by 2005, he was participating in triathlons. So let's go find out more about his journey. Hi, Nicholas. Welcome to Roadbenders. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. And your list of achievements is so long that I don't know where to start. But I've picked out a few. And from what I read about you, you've done your studies in kinesiology and in sports science. And following that, you became a triathlete, and you've participated in a number of triathlon competitions over the years. And now you are a certified triathlon coach, track and field coach, and you've started two of your new ventures, that is Essential Training and Let's Kids Try. So,
Yes.
can you tell us a little bit about your triathlon journey and your two ventures?
Sure. Well, my triathlon journey started in '05.
Okay.
I was living in Florida, and I was going to school there. And it's funny how it started because the mailman put a triathlete magazine in my mailbox that was somebody else's.
Okay.
And I opened it and looked and said, "What is this?" And I was intrigued by the sport, and the bicycles really caught my eye, the Cervelo P3. And once I saw that, I said, "This is what I want to do." So I started training for triathlon,
Okay.
and I went out and bought myself a P3, and I started with sprints, not knowing actually what entailed the training or the sport itself.
Okay.
My background came from the martial arts and other types of activities. I've been active all my life, but
Okay.
triathlon was a totally different type of sport that I didn't understand.
Right.
And the first one I did was on Long Island, which was a sprint. And I didn't know you had mass starts.
Okay.
And I jumped into it, and I just started ever since. So I built myself from a sprint triathlon up to an Ironman. And I competed in up and down the East Coast.
Okay.
And I decided to become a coach. So my background, I was a personal trainer.
Right.
And my personal training started when I had my first injury. I was amazed how the body can heal itself,
Right.
and you can become, back into your sport through PT.
Right.
And I went to school, but I had to pull out because I was raising my son by myself, and I decided to just become a personal trainer.
Right.
And from personal training, I went on to study kinesiology and sports science, and became a licensed massage therapist. And then I just incorporated them all into my training program and regimen when I would teach or coach people.
Right.
And then I became a track and field coach because I wanted to learn more about the endurance sports.
Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about your two ventures, Essential Training and Let Kids Try?
Try.
Yeah.
Yes. So Essential Training is my personal coaching and training business.
Okay.
And I do it through the internet. I do it through personalizing my program for each individual, because each individual has certain needs and are different physiologically, and they need to have structured programs.
Right.
So I decided to start my own with my own experience, how I've learned it,
Right.
to incorporate my experience into my coaching with others. Let Kids Try is a nonprofit organization that I started to raise money with kids with disability.
Okay.
So what I do is I would grab people and I coach and train them, and they would make a donation or pledge a certain amount of money, and that would get them tickets to a race, training, coaching, uniforms, supplements, which I'm a sponsored athlete through Hammer Nutrition and Finis Swim, so they would give me products and I would give it to them. And we would raise money for children with special needs, kids with cancer, kids with learning disabilities, kids who are in poverty, Make-A-Wish Foundation. And that's what Let Kids Try. So it's not a program actually for teaching kids triathlon, but it's showing through what we do that kids can do anything if they try. And I decided it says T-R-Y, I put T-R-I as in triathlon.
Right. That's awesome. So, fitness has become a way of life for you. And how has being a triathlete changed the way you look at life?
Well, triathlon is more than a sport. It's a lifestyle. And what it did was it giving me a more of a whole type of living that is different than any other type of sport or life, actually, and way people are. You know, you have to wake up early. You have to take care of your body because your body is your machine. And by eating, it changed my eating habits. It changed the way I work out. It changed my sleeping habits, who I see, and how I live my life day to day.
Right. So, can you tell me about the high point of your journey as a triathlete?
My high point was when I competed in the Florida Great Floridian, which is an iron distance and one of the oldest triathlons in the U.S. And it's it is 140.6 miles.
Okay.
And I came in 8th in my age group.
Okay.
And it was just an amazing experience for me to complete and cross that line. You cross 2 lines. You cross the starting line, and the object is to obviously cross the finish line.
Okay.
And from there, I wanted to compete and qualify for Kona, the national championships,
Right.
or the world championships, I'm sorry. And what happened was along my way, I suffered a lot of setbacks with injuries.
Okay. All right. So, which year was this?
That was in 2009,
Okay.
October.
Right. Can't forget that. So, what, according to you, is the secret of, either cycling or running or swimming long distance?
The secret to be able to do it?
Yes.
How one can achieve that? Well,
Yes.
first of all, it's a mental attitude.
Right.
It's about never saying never. Never is not in my vocabulary, and I don't ever want my clients to say that, because never say never. It's the only time you say never. You can accomplish anything you want to do, and it's just all mental. You have to start small goals and build it to a bigger goal. So the first thing is to learn how to swim.
Right.
And if you don't know how to swim, you can, there's so many different ways of accomplishing that.
Right.
And swimming is, as an endurance, is building up endurance. So you have to strengthen, and my philosophy on that, or methodology, is training on dry land, in the gym, doing a lot of core exercises, and then incorporating that and using that in the pool with pool exercises as you're swimming. And then you would build on that with every few weeks. You would periodize and build until you are able to, depending on what distance you want to do. So anything from 500 they can call as endurance, or a triathlete, which is a sprint, but you could build up to an Ironman, which is 2.2.
Right.
With cycling, it's all about, I've learned, it doesn't matter what type of bike you have, but you're obviously the machine.
Right.
So you have to strengthen your body, and you have to learn how to train the exact muscles you'll do in cycling. And it depends on what type of course. They can be flat, they can be hilly, they can be climbing. It all depends. So when you get your body ready, now you have to have a bike, the machine,
right.
which is depending on your gearing, on what type of race. A bike fit is crucial because everybody's different. You may have injuries. You may have a long torso, a short torso. Your leg may be longer compared to your body. Everybody's different. So when you buy a bike, you have to buy a bike that fits you, not you to the bike.
Right.
So you would start with a frame. And from the frame, we would do fittings and take measurements of angles depending on your hips. I do an assessment of their biomechanics.
Right.
And then we would fit them for a bike. So when you have the bike, you are fitted for that, and then it comes to your training. So the whole thing is building fitness, cardiovascular fitness. Because everybody wants to get on the bike, and they all want to be Lance Armstrong, and it doesn't work like that.
Right.
So you have to build a fitness base where your heart is strong enough to supply your body with the peripheral oxygen, which flows in the blood, to the muscles, in able to do that sport. Same thing with swimming. And when you have enough fitness, which usually takes anywhere from 3 to 7 to 3 months and up to like 7 years. That's why most competitive world champion triathletes are usually in their mid to early 30s.
Right.
In endurance sports. So when you're doing that, you just build, and then you're incorporating segments of different types of workouts. You have built into interval training, and there's different ones. There's lactic threshold training, and then there's VO2 max training, and everything comes with recovery.
Right.
And then after that part, we build on climb, which depends how you want to climb. You either sit and think of pushing up a long climb, conserving muscles, or you want to get handlebars to grind those gears. And it all depends, are you strong enough to push big gears or small gears? Everybody's different when they climb. And then you put that together to peak at the right point of your race. And now running is similar to biking. So we're going on the same principle of building fitness. But now it's funny how natural running should be. If you ever look at a child, an infant, 2 or 3 up to even 10, how they run midfoot. Their heels don't strike.
Okay.
That's just a natural way of running. Most people have jobs that sit at a desk, and it shortens muscles.
Right.
And you forget how to naturally run because our lifestyles change.
True.
So if you sit for so long, it's 168 hours of a week, and we spend, I would say, eating, restroom, working, driving, and so on and so forth. So with running, you have to get into stretching, and it's more like marching. You start with marching, and you teach people to run. And then the science of what I just went over with biking, you incorporate the same type of physiology training into the running, except we're building more core strength and your upright. So your running comes more as poses, one after another, with using gravity to allow you to go forward and conserving energy.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That's quite elaborate. Thank you. So you've done a lot of races, you've done a lot of professional training for all of these competitions, but have you ever just cycled for leisure? As in, have you ever cycled outside of maybe USA to explore another country on your bike?
No, I have not left the I left the United States, but never cycling. I usually travel around the U.S. cycling.
Okay.
And I do it every day. I ride to work. I just got done riding. That's why I had to settle in before this to my PT, because I had back surgery and I'm recovering from that. I'm doing well. But I do it as enjoyment. Cycling to me gives me the freedom to do anything. I can go places where, as Superman says, no man has gone before. You can explore so much with it. Right. And where I'm in the United States, there's so much country that when you drive, you miss it. So when I drive, I always have a bike in my car, and I actually have 3 bikes I always take with me. One is a mountain bike that I can explore trails and mountains. The other one is a road bike that I can explore the roads going from point A to B, be it state to state. And then I have a leisure bike, which is single speed, that just lets me have fun.
Nice.
So I can just ride all the time.
That's awesome.
My plan is to definitely go to the Europe and ride one day through Italy and through Spain.
You definitely should.
And France. That's my goal, and that's what I'm building to.
Right.
And that's going to happen possibly within a couple of years.
Excellent. Perfect. So, do you follow a specific fitness regimen now? Now that you're not actively pursuing triathlons, so are you following a specific fitness regimen?
Yeah, well, now I'm more into cycling because of my injuries. I stopped running because I had hip issues and I had hip resurfacing. And by the way, when I had hip resurfacing, 5 months afterwards, I did an Ironman.
Wow.
With minimal training.
That's awesome.
So you can recover and you can keep going forward. It's just about changing your lifestyle. So eating, as I said, and my regimen now is more geared to a healthy lifestyle. I try to eat healthy. I try to exercise every day, doing 1 a day if I can. And when I don't knock myself out or feel bad. And if I want a piece of cake, I'll have it too. But I really don't eat any more sugar at all. I'm not eating red meat, and it's more gearing towards whole foods.
Okay. So that was my next question actually. So if you have a specific diet plan that you follow, so you continue and tell me all about it.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in diets. Everybody comes up with something else, as you know. You have the paleo, you have the South Beach, you have this, you have that. It's just about eating healthy. We were born to eat healthy. We have everything we need. So now it came down to supplementing, and there's so many different vitamins and supplements. You can go crazy. Supplementing is to supplement what vitamins you're not getting from the foods you eat. So if you eat regular foods and whole foods and grains, nuts and all, yes,
right,
that will, actually help you to feel better. So my regimen of eating is lots of fruits, vegetables, berries, vegetables. I do eat chicken. I try to eat organically, grass-fed, or the right foods that are organic. No antibiotics, no steroids. I try to stay away from anything that's treated. I eat whole grains, brown rice, and the potato is good too. So I just watch portions. I train, and I eat to train. So when I'm eating what my body will do in the next 36 hours.
Right.
And I'm watching the calories.
Right.
So I'm eating more in the morning, a little bit at lunch, and then at night I try to have a little bit more protein and not as much I can digest.
Right. So, which is the brand of cycle that you're currently using? And which brand would you recommend to beginners?
Well, there's so many bikes out there.
Right.
And my bike that I ride is a Cervelo. I have 45 Cervelos. I just love the brand. I like them because they're built compact. So like I was talking about before, your body, everybody's body's differently. So I ride a 54 centimeter on certain bikes, and then other bikes I'll ride a 51 because of my legs and my torso. And Cervelo makes their bikes more compact. Or 54 is better for me than it would be on other bikes that I tried. I just wasn't comfortable. What I say is just go out there, and if you're looking to buy a bike, buy a low-end bike to start and have fun with it. So that Specialized makes a great bike. Trek makes a great brand. Even buy a Schwinn and can save money right now, and then go out and do research and know what you're buying before you walk into a store. So when you go in, you know what you're looking for, and then you can have the right questions to ask to have the salesperson or the person selling you the bike give you the right bike you need. But you don't have to go out right away and buy a big bike.
Right.
So there's no really special brand. There's too many. And I think you can start out with something for a few hundred, and I'm sure you know, you can spend thousands.
Right. True. Okay, so we're at my last question. And the last question is that if you could say a few words for your fellow cyclists or people who are aspiring to become triathletes.
I just say embrace it. Embrace the freedom it gives you. Embrace the wind in your face. Embrace how you feel when you're riding down a mountain. Feel the wind, feel the speed, feel the wheels moving underneath you, feel your heart racing,
Nice.
feel the nervousness, feel the happiness. Enjoy it. Like I said, it's the freedom that cycling gives you. And and with backpacking, you can go anywhere.
Right.
And just start it and have fun with it. Because it is a lifestyle that can last you forever. You can do it for as long as you want because of the low impact.
That's true. That's true. And those are beautiful words. And thank you so much for taking out the time to talk to us. And this has been an absolute pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I loved each and every word that you said. And thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.